I've met so many people who had heard something about Jesus, and then when they meet him, they discover actually it's not true. He's not like that. He's actually very kind. He's actually loving. I mean, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this, because I have first-hand experience of who he is. But the other way to look at the question who Jesus is, apart from me telling you my own stories, is to look at the historical accounts of Jesus in the Bible and see what they say. Let's see Jesus for ourselves. And that's what we're going to do today. At the temple, when Jesus was there, he would come in and people would come to him. They would come with their questions. Can I know God for myself? How do I know right from wrong? How should I treat my fellow human being? What is love? Is there life after death? And they had so many questions. Jesus would sit down with them and teach. And so these people have caught someone, a woman, in the very act of adultery, red-handed. There's no denying it. It's like, boom, there you are. And they bring the woman before Jesus. Now, the thing is, Jesus knew that these religious Pharisees and scribes, they didn't like him. And so we see in the story that it says, they were trying to test him. They tried to set him up against Moses, against the law. They tried to get him to get into an argument and, say something that you say, aha, we knew you were such and such and such. Jesus does something brilliant, which I think we can all learn from. He does not engage. And the lesson here is this, at least the lesson that I see is this. We are free to choose when we speak, when we respond. We don't have to engage with every single thing. We can think about, who are these people? Who are the people asking us questions? What's their motivation? Are they asking genuine questions because they're looking for answers? When he was ready, and this is the thing, it's so good. When he was ready, he raised himself up. We should not allow anyone to pressure us. This is one of the things we learn from Jesus. Don't allow anyone to pressure you into doing something when you're not ready to do it. When you're ready to speak, speak. When Jesus, who knew the law, of course, they weren't teaching Jesus anything new. Jesus had been going to the temple since he was a child. He knew the law. He'd been studying it all. So he knew what they were saying. And he raised himself up. And he knew who they were. And he simply said to them, well, whoever among you is without sin, let him be the first to throw a stone at the woman. And then he disengaged. He didn't enter into an argument or a debate about the law. What does Moses really say? In the technicality, this word, what does that word mean? No. Jesus didn't do any of that. He just said, okay, you think that you have done everything right and every single decision your whole life, go ahead. And they started to go away, one after the other. Jesus spoke to the woman for the first time and said to her, where are your accusers? Where are they? Has no one condemned you? And the woman said, no one. Lord, do you recognize who Jesus is? See, the funny thing is Jesus was left there. The only person who could pass any judgment on her. He said to her, neither do I condemn you. And that is it. That is just the amazing beauty of who Jesus is. There is no condemnation in Jesus. It doesn't matter what you've done. Jesus doesn't label her by her sin. Jesus doesn't label her by anything. He simply tells her, I have no condemnation for you. He says, it doesn't matter what you've done. I already know what you've done. Jesus knew exactly what she'd done. Jesus says to you, I know what you've done. But it doesn't matter. There is no condemnation. Still come to me. Just in our world today, where do we see that? So many people eager to get people canceled and to try and point fingers and say, this is what they've done wrong. Jesus did not point any fingers. He did not call her any names. With Jesus, you find love, grace, redemption, freedom. He gives you the desire to do what's good and the power to choose to do it. And if you desire, Jesus says to you, I will teach you how to use the power so that you don't trip, so that you don't fall. It's great. He's got so much grace, so much joy. And he loves us perfectly, unconditionally. His love doesn't depend on our performance. He already loves us. He's already given us his love, and he's never going to take it away from us. That's who Jesus is. Fantastic. So you're already loved. Even if you tripped up, even if you tripped up again, and even if it was the same stone as yesterday, guess what? No condemnation. What fantastic news! He makes you brand new. Basically, you have a clean slate. It's as if everything that you've done in the past never happened. Jesus paid for it all and washes it away. Everybody meets Jesus exactly as they are, and they begin to walk with him. And it's on the journey of walking with him, walking after him, seeing what he does and doing that we get transformed. I've enjoyed just exploring who Jesus is again, and I'm so glad I get to share that with you. And we're going to continue this exploration on the next episode, so definitely keep an eye out. Until then, have a good one.